Hello boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, mom and dad, welcome to Ommy'z world. And that's right, I'm Ommy, and with me you know who we have?
Jada!
Anyway, we are back to our Kizzy and Stamp story, and remember, to put that up there, an African-American girl who lived in a time when children, an African-American girl who lived in a time when children weren't really being mixed when they went to school. So it was all Caucasian school, and then it was all an African-American school. And this was the first time that the schools were integrated. So Kizzy had a few issues. She had issues with a boy whose name was Frank, and Frank Charles. And Frank actually was the one who caused her severe accident that caused that cut to go from her eye to her mouth. And Kizzy's not too happy with Frank. So we're going to get right into it. And we are on the journal of July 10th, 1963. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the creamy paper you sent me to write you. Holding, it's like being rich. I don't know that I really want to write on it, but I know that it's what it's for. So I'm doing it right now. I didn't show anyone but my family the gift. It seems too special, too incredible that you would do this. Mama says that you are not to send me stationery. Not like this anymore. But thank you for doing it this one time, because I feel like I am a fairy tale princess or something. You like being a princess, right, Jada?
Yeah.
Okay, I thank you kindly for writing back to me again. And the letters to all the students, it is all over the community how all of us got those creamy letters. Miss Warren is walking around like she made the world move. Your letter to her was the topper, and she has shown it to everybody. And she told the preacher he would need to have parts of it in his sermon on Sunday. Granny Bits is filling our house with all sorts of bad talk of how pride goes before a fall. But Daddy says, never mind. Miss Warren deserves a good chance to show off, since she's working hard for the children of the community, and she gave up her job to help it happen. I didn't think much about how Miss Warren had to give up her job, since she's as old as Methuselah. I just thought she might want to stop working. She ought to want to stop working. I got to say, that did make Granny Bits hush in a hurry. I know how the others are feeling. Before you wrote, I never had a letter from a teacher before. It's like getting a letter from God. Don't tell Granny Bits I said that though. I'm pretty sure I'd get a switching for that. Those must be some great schools that teachers, all the teachers, y'all handwriting look exactly like the same. You and Miss Warren, and I admit, it is always easy to read, not like my scribble scrabble. It's almost like a handwriting machine, churning out the shape and letters and numbers. I've watched Miss Warren write on our papers before, and she is as precise as any farm machinery we own. All sharp and sure. Taking the time to touch lines and form those loops, I don't think I'd ever had that kind of patience. But it sure is like watching an artist at work. Did it take you hours to write all those letters? So Jada, what's happening is Kizzy is getting a letter from her teacher. She hasn't physically met the teacher, but she's going to be going to this new school. And so her old teacher, Miss Warren, told her to write the letter to Miss Anderson to get to know her. So they've been writing letters back and forth, kind of like pen pals.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you write those letters of welcome to your white kids too? I guess you have to make things fair, but I hope you didn't. They're always welcome. We're the ones trying to something new, being made to go where we aren't wanted and aren't really wanting to go. But maybe I don't really want you to answer the question, so don't tell me, okay? I'm just going to pretend you wrote to only us. I know that's kind of being a baby, but I think this one time I want to believe you treat us more special than the others. So Jada, what's happening is most black children, or no black children, have ever attended this school. And so Kizzy Ann sending this letter to Miss Anderson is hoping that maybe Miss Anderson is treating the black kids a little special. And she's hoping to feel special because black children have never attended that school. Okay? All right. It's very interesting to hear more about you. I realize you've mostly just written to me about in your own other letters. I guess I thought you'd have come from far away, not grown up right over here in Lynchburg. Still, I don't think your world has been exactly like mine. I won't hold it against you, though. I hope you won't hold it against me. Sure, I could tell you about our farm since you asked. I tend to skip describing things sometimes when I read a story once I know where it's happening. Snap! I can figure out what it looks like. And I don't need the author to go on for 4 pages with all that flowery description. You know what I mean? Miss Warren says that some readers like to be grounded into place. And I suppose you could be one of those readers. So, our farm has a smallish farmhouse built by stamp folks over the years. The earliest part was just one room built by the stamps, who got the land when they scraped together some money after they were slaves. That room is now the kitchen. They used it for everything back then, according to Granny Biggs. The ceiling in there hangs low. My daddy is about 6 feet tall, and he kind of stoops in there, but in a friendly way. The walls are soft yellow, and it's my favorite room because it's always warm and it smells like toast and tomatoes, even when nothing is cooking. Granny Bit spent lots of her time there, when she cooks and when she irons. We often seem to gather there to tell each other about our day and other things that have happened. We often go there to get a little silly talk. It's where we play board games and where we usually get to do our homework, since I don't have a fancy desk in my room. The other rooms in our house sort of got added on as needed, so the house feels like a quilt to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how it seems. That's how it seems to me, like a quilt with pieces all patched together, fitted just so. What do you think she means by that?
Like everything kind of comes in like pieces and it makes all sense when it's together.
So it's like the house, because it was only one room, then they added another room, and then other rooms after that. That would be like the quilt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else Kizzy wrote. Our land is spread around 20 acres, and we have some crops, a garden, and some milk cows, a few pigs, chickens, a rooster, and 1 meat cow, sometimes 2 in a good year. I help with the crops, the garden, and the milking. The chickens and some of the cooking are my job too. Mama and Daddy respect that I don't want to help much with the pigs and meat cows. I don't want to get on that first name basis with something I might have to eat later on. You either, huh, Jada?
No.
I know, me neither. And of course, the rooster is Arnie, so I avoid him all the time. Phew! Isn't that enough describing? So she's like explaining all this, is like, whew, I'm done with this. Let's talk about something else. I wonder why Kizzy doesn't like to talk about her house so much.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because, or what do you think? Why do you think she doesn't want to tell Miss Anderson, who is a white teacher, about her house? Because Kizzy and them don't have a lot of money. Why do you think she doesn't want to talk about it much?
Maybe because her teacher might think that's bad for her and she shouldn't be living there.
Maybe living like that?
Yeah.
Because maybe she's poorer than her?
Yeah.
Do you think Kizzy might be a little embarrassed about the way she lives?
Yeah.
That could be it. Let's see. Did you like football when you went to high school? I don't care, particularly but my brother, James, plays football in high school. Well, that isn't really the truth. He's still practicing at the black school field. Football doesn't seem to have gotten integrated like the school. So at that time, Jada, football, if you were black and you wanted to play a sport, you had to play at the black school. And you could still practice and play at the black school even if you're going to a new school. Because James, her brother, really probably wouldn't be able to play at the white school. How would you feel if something like that happened to you?
I'd feel really sad and stuff because it's just the color of my skin. It shouldn't change.
Shouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
You're right. The coach said there isn't room at the high school field for everybody. And he says none of the black boys are ready for the varsity squad because they haven't faced the right kind of competition. So all the black players on the junior varsity team and it practiced over at the old school. So all the black players are on the junior varsity team and it practiced over at the old school. James says it's fine by him because it feels like normal. But I think he must be angry about it because he's a senior. And his dream since he was very little was to be the star of the homecoming game. And even though the coach says JV will have a homecoming game too, it isn't the game. So it's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's fair?
Mm-mm. It's like, so, like, not fair.
I know.
Then he's a senior, so
Right.
he shouldn't have to play on the junior varsity. He should be able to play, like, with the seniors.
I agree. It's unfortunate that there was so much racism and segregation at that time.
Yeah.
But these are true, not necessarily, this isn't necessarily a true story, but it's like realistic fiction. It's kind of giving you real things that could have happened to real people, but these particular things may not have happened.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go on and keep on going. Talking about this makes me feel right nervous about starting at your school. Miss, plus, to be honest, I just don't know if I'll be able to work with all those white kids around. My mama says this is a chance for me to prove to Frank Charles and the others that I'm just as good as they are. I'll tell you a secret. I sure hope they'll see that I am. Wow. So does it seem like Kizzy doesn't think she's as good as them?
Yeah, because she's like kind of nervous, and he says, I hope they'll see that she is
Just as good as them.
Yeah.
Wow. It's unfortunate, but so Jada, at your school, you have a mixture of people. Are they different races? African American, Caucasian? Are there other races there?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other races that are, or nationalities of people that are there?
There's Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
Caucasian,
Mm-hmm.
and Black.
Okay. Is there anyone who may be Vietnamese, Filipino, or anything? Or Chinese or Japanese, maybe?
I think I've seen a couple people who are Chinese and Japanese.
How do you feel about going to school with people of all races?
It's really cool and stuff because you can meet different people from different places sometimes.
Do you get to learn things about their culture?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think that would be great too. How would you feel if you were only allowed to go to school with African American people?
It would, I don't want to say it would make me feel sad, but it will make me feel like I'm not treated fair enough. Like,
Okay. Kind of like Kizzy? Kind of like Kizzy
kind of
Ann?
like Kizzy, yeah.
Wow. It's unfortunate that children had to, go to particular schools because of the color of their skin. But would you think that maybe if you were at the school where there were all children that looked like you, that all of them would be treated fair from the African American teachers too?
Yeah, I believe so.
You think they would all treat all the kids the same way? Because they're all going to be the same nationality. They're all going to be African American.
Yeah, hopefully, probably, I would think, yeah.
So think of this, Jada. How about this? Let's say you're at a school and everybody at that school is African American. But then let's say some African American children are light skinned, some are, brown, real brown, and some of them are very dark skinned. Do you think that racism would even go, or I don't want to say racism, but prejudiceness would actually affect those people who are different shades of brown?
Sometimes, if they're like mixed or something, yeah, sometimes I think they might still be racist people.
Or maybe be treated, you think they would be treated better if they're lighter complected, or worse if they're lighter?
Better.
Think so?
Yeah.
So as an African American little girl yourself who has natural hair, it's kind of curly and coily, that's the kind of hair we have. And I know we put braids and things in our hair, but for an African American girl who has, coily hair, whose hair doesn't necessarily get silky straight when you wet it, have you ever felt bad or wished you had something else or looked like somebody else?
Yeah, sometimes, but other times I'm just like, you know what? My hair is not going to change, and I'm just going to be me, so.
What made you wish or want to have it like somebody else?
Because everybody else had it.
Oh, so at one time it was kind of like an uncomfortable feeling because other people?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. And I think that all of us go through different things. Like, for example, let's say you had a friend who got a bicycle and you didn't get one. You know, you might have wanted that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because she's better that she got the bike. It's just at that time, that's what she got.
Yeah.
So, for example, using that example, I want you to think about this, that the things that you were given were specially given and made for you. You know, so your eyes, your hair, your nose, your teeth, you know, your smile, your personality, those things were handpicked for you.
Yeah.
And nobody else could wear them the way you do.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you ever feel at any time like, oh, I wished I had this or I wished I had that, think about why you were given all those special things that make you such a beautiful Jada. Okay? All right. Well, guys, there it is. You have it. Jada joined me today. When Kizzy, Kizzy and stamps. And Kizzy, hopefully Kizzy starts to feel a little bit better about herself. Hopefully, some of you who may feel that same way that Kizzy felt, that didn't feel like you're as good as some of the other kids, you can hear what Jada says and she says she's just going to be herself. And I think that is super smart and very important. Yeah. So just be who you are. Okay, guys, this is Ommie and
Jada
for all your homeschool and virtual learning needs. And everyone, have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.